Welcome and welcome back, my botanical babes and funky fun guys, to Medicinal Mondays with Ray, where we talk about all things medicinal, magical, herbal, healing, and holistic blessings and good vibes. I'm Ray, and I'm hella excited about this week's episode because we're talking about a plant that looks like it almost walked straight out of a novel, like a fantasy novel. It's tall, fuzzy, dramatic, and most of the time it's just minding its own business on the side of the road. And you don't notice it until you notice it. And I'm talking about mullein. And it is one of my favorite herbs. I know I say that a lot, but it's one of my favorite wild herbs to spot. And I can spot a mullein a mile away now. It's got the big fuzzy rosette. This one's actually in my garden box right now. For the last couple of years, I've had random mullein plants pop up in my yard since we transplanted some from the wild, which they say doesn't always work, but I had 5 out front yesterday. Last year, I had 3 in my garden box last year as well. This year I have that big rosette and one more in that box, 2 in my little strawberry boxes. I'm trying to think I have any out front. I haven't seen any out front yet, but they'll come. They'll come as you learn about mullein. It'll start with the big the big fuzzy rosette, and then the second year it grows into the tall stalk. It's a pretty cool plant. It does wonders for mostly your respiratory system, but it's a wonderful herb. You'll see it in disturbed soil. There's a ton of them by like the asphalt place, Will Care down the road from me. I won't harvest those ones because I don't fucking know what's leaking into the ground around there. But yeah. So without further ado, what does mullein do? So mullein is a demulcent. It's also an expectorant. It is anti-inflammatory. It is an astringent. It's also antimicrobial. It's an emollient. And it's analgesic. But what does that all mean? So what it all really means is mullein is the lung herb. If your chest feels tight, dry, irritated, full of stubborn mucus that just like refuses to move, mullein is like coming in to help you breathe again. And that's not a joke. It's soothing, it's cooling, it's moistening, and it helps break up that sticky, stuck congestion. So you know when you have a cough and you can feel it, but it won't come out, mullein is your go-to herb for that. It's amazing for dry coughs, sore throats, bronchial irritation, and you know that feeling when your lungs are just tired? It helps loosen that mucus, but it's not harsh. It's very, very gentle. It's gentle enough for kids, for elders, and folks who are sensitive. It is good for you. Keep that in mind. We'll hit that on the safety. So if you've ever had a cough that just keeps you up at night, it's dry or it's full of mucus, mullein will be your best friend when it comes to that. Not just for respiratory, it's used topically too and internally for other things. So it's not just your lung ally, it's also great for the gut. It's good for irritated tissue and even in some cases for pain. Like the flowers, and I've got a jar of flowers from last year. They are famous for mullein ear oil. So it's been used for generations for ear discomfort, just as your ear oil. I haven't personally used it, but I've heard lots of things about it. And those big fuzzy leaves, they are soothing on bruises, sore joints, irritated skin. It just does so much for what it is. And like, I couldn't believe the mullein I had in my garden last year. It was literally taller than me, and I'm about 5 feet tall. So these bitches can grow quite tall and quite big. Now, mullein is great taken internally, but traditionally, it's actually a smoke herb. For centuries, mullein leaves were dried and burned in various cultures because the smoke is mild and soothing. It's not harsh. It was believed to open the lungs. It was used to calm coughing fits, and it was considered a purifying smoke. Herbalists historically describe mullein as soft, cooling, gentle on the chest. I don't find it harsh. I've used it as like a substitute or as an add-in to my smoke blends. It's a lovely alternative. Just for disclaimer though, it was used for ceremony, ritual, or medicinal. It wasn't used recreationally. But I have heard of people using mullein as a substitute, especially if they're trying to quit smoking. So even though the smoke can be generally irritating with its little fuzzy leaves, it was used because it contains mucilage, which soothes the tissue. It has anti-inflammatory compounds. It has mild expectorant properties, and it was believed to help open the breath. So in folk medicine, mullein smoke was used when someone felt tight in the chest, stuck with a stubborn mucus, anybody who was wheezy, anyone who had irritation in the lungs. Again, historical, medicinal, ritual, ceremonial, not recreational, for the disclaimer. But I will say again, it is a great substitute or alternative, especially if you're trying to quit smoking. It was also used as a cleansing smoke, though. So in folk herbalism, mullein smoke was used for cleansing the space, to clear stagnant energy, to open the air, to reset emotional atmosphere. It's a gentler alternative to harsher resins. So I have a smoke blend that I have, and it's got mullein, it's got a bit of lavender, it's got a bit of peppermint in it. And not only does it like stretch my smoke, but I find it's really good when I'm doing ritual things or ceremonial things. Like last night was the blue moon, and I had a ritual smoke with the burning of my papers and all of that stuff, releasing full moon, blah blah. So mullein not only is good when you have the respiratory issues, it's good in a smoke blend too. And since we talk about all things magical, mullein wasn't just medicine. This plant has been magical for thousands of years. So, the tall yellow stalks with the flowers I was just talking about? People actually used to dip them in tallow or wax and burn them as torches. They called them hag's tapers, I believe. And they were used in rituals, protection work, ceremonies, literally bringing light into the darkness. Mullein is also a protection herb. It was burned, carried, or hung in the home. It was said to ward off harmful energies and keep the path clear. It's also a plant of guidance and clarity because it grows tall and straight like a beacon. It's used in magic for direction, courage, and just seeing your way through confusion. And the smoke. Some traditions used mullein to enhance intuition, connect with spirits. I used it in my smoke last night. It's a plant that helps you breathe, not just, excuse me, physically, but spiritually too. Mullein was burned for protection. So the smoke was believed to push away harmful energies, spirits, or intentions. Illumination and guidance. Because mullein stalks were used as torches, burning mullein symbolized things like clarity, direction, lighting the path, courage, finding your way through confusion, and literally anything that you needed the light in the darkness for. Mullein was the herb that was used. So some traditions also burn mullein to enhance intuition, to open the inner eye or your third eye, to connect with ancestors or guides. It was burned for courage and strength. Mullein has a long history of magical uses. Anywhere that any culture had come in contact with mullein, it is believed that it was used in one way or another with all of these. So I don't know. I would definitely incorporate mullein into my magical practices. Um, Resilience is another one. Burning it was a way to call in bravery or stand firm in your power. And I could just like imagine that, folks with burning stalks of mullein, reclaiming their power, seeing through the darkness. Very magical. Very, very magical. Long, long use, historically, medicinally. But now we got to get into that safety. Mullein is super gentle. The only thing to watch out for is the tiny hairs on the leaves. They can cause irritation to the throat if you don't strain your tea well. Otherwise, the plant is one of the safest allies out there. But the leaves are covered in tiny hairs, and these can cause throat irritation if the tea isn't strained again, skin irritation or contact dermatitis to sensitive people, and allergic reactions to people sensitive to the plant. That being said, I've had my hands go a little bit funny from touching the leaves myself. So if you do have a sensitivity like that, use gloves when harvesting. Harvest responsibly and sustainably. Avoid areas with high pollution. Like I said, we'll care there. I would not harvest any of the mullein leaves, even though there are a dozen mullein plants there. Again, I don't know what's leaking into the earth there. Be mindful of where you harvest. And at the same time, it's better than nothing. So if anything I have learned from my herbology teacher is that not every condition is perfect, but work with what you have. And also, pregnant or breastfeeding, of course, consult a trusted herbalist or healthcare professional. But other than that, mullein is pretty safe, pretty gentle. You just got to watch out for that sensitivity. And that's it. That is our friend mullein. And I forgot the history bit. Mullein has been used by ancient Greeks, Romans, Celts. I don't know. But pretty much every culture that it has ever met, and it's been a lamp wick, it's been a torch, it's been a protective charm, it's been a lung remedy, a gut remedy, a magical tool. It has been so much that I think it's probably one of the most wide used but lesser known allies we have. Because from my research and my reading, it's been everywhere. It's been used almost everywhere. And that's huge. And mullein can grow quite tall. I don't know if I said that, but the stalks I grew were about 5 feet, but I've seen some easily a foot taller than me. Anyway, that is mullein. I hope next time you've got a tickle in your throat, dry cough, you can't bring up that mucus, you think of this plant because it is the lung plant. It will be your best ally, especially in the winter months, in the cold season, or any season really where you get like that. This time of year, especially in Nova Scotia, you just never know what the weather's going to be, what the day's going to be, what kind of cough you have. I do know, because I just got back from BC and I was there for a week. Not once did my shoulder ache or did I have any sinus issues. It's so fucking dry out there. Anyway, thank you for joining me in the kitchen this week. I hope you learned something. Again, I hope you turn to mullein when you have any of those conditions. I hope you investigate further the smoke usages of mullein, especially if you're trying to quit smoking or, you know, not smoke as much. It's a great alternative, great substitute. It's not harsh. It's very cooling, moisturizing, all that jazz. So don't forget to help your soil sister out. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it, whatever it is you need to do to help make the world a more natural place, one herb at a time. Alrighty, my botanical babes, my funky fun guys. Stay natural, and may your Mondays be magical.